That's what she said. I never did this before. That's
Oh, fuck. People are like, what the fuck? That was the best purge I've ever heard. So how you guys doing? How you doing, JJ? You got a good show?
Yeah. I mean, it's a wild day, man. It's a wild day.
I knew you were hot to get in here. Twiz is over at Chelsea Whitaker's chat right now. So we're waiting for them to come back. When she finishes her show, she'll do it. There's Tommy Boy. Welcome back. How you doing? Sorry, I accidentally hit the button, the kill switch, and we lost everybody. Wait till everybody gets back in here.
Bill Thompson did it.
It was BK came up in here and did it, and he was a ninja about it. I was hey there, Tammy. I had to start over. Sorry about that. But yeah, what do you think? What's your take on the hearing, Judge?
Dude, I have no idea what went on today because none of it makes any objective or reasonable sense. As you all were saying, who benefits from this?
Because Hitler can literally reinstate the DP if he wants to. He can just go and he even asks. That's part of the form. I can not abide by this. We don't have, and they've never been true to their word on anything before. Why would you trust them to be true now?
Yeah, dude. None of it makes any sense.
Sorry, I'm all fired up.
You're good, dude.
Yeah, I apologize that to everybody. I hit the button by accident. So thanks.
I mean, if you're hungry, dude, you might need a sidebar. Or tonight's edition of The Purge is brought to you by chocolatey things here and some Diet Mountain Dew.
We lost your visual, Judge. Where did you go? Let me see.
Impossible.
I'm having all kinds of technical difficulties here. Sources. There it is. Okay, I got that back. Let me see. Where are you?
I just don't understand how it's professionally acceptable for Anne to have literally just.
We can hear you. There you are. I just couldn't see you, JJ. Sorry.
All these claims that she made, and then it's like, just kidding. It's like, okay, either you were lying, or what does all that? What does all the other stuff mean then? You said she was saying, prosecutorial. They were hiding evidence, misconduct. He wasn't there at the location. He's innocent.
Yeah. Where did all that go? It's thrown out the window. So your word is pretty much garbage. And this is as far as she goes in any case. Because you look at with Skylar Meade, the way she got the DP removed, but
I didn't follow that shit. My brain has no.
You son of a bitch! You got a red, white, and blue donut, dude.
It's a Krispy Kreme. It's a special edition Krispy Kreme, and I'm saving it for morning. So it's going to be lingering this whole time with your name on it.
First of all, I'm jealous. Second of all, you and I both know that donut's not surviving the night.
The hour, the minute.
Don't tell them about my sugar addiction.
In a day full of lies and tragedy, let's at least be honest about the situation.
Yeah, be honest about the donut situation.
Let's not start with an untruth here.
Don't lie to us, Kane. Don't lie to us.
There's holes in this whole story, I'll tell you.
OMG.
I see what you did there.
It's like you just gotta laugh because this is like, is this real life? Well,
if it's all circular logic, you might as well put a little sugar coating on it. You know?
I beg somebody to just make it make sense where I can okay, all right, okay, now I get it. Please, because I'm sick of this shit, honestly. I'm sick of thinking about it.
I want it to be over, but it's like I was saying, JJ, when you were on your show, is that
I give up now.
Even Kohlberger's statement for his alibi doesn't make any sense. It's like there's nothing that makes sense. Not one damn thing. Not one piece. Like the whole thing was just created. You know,
wouldn't it have been easier for him to just be like, "Oh yeah, I was at the house party," or like, "Oh, I was home sleeping, turn my phone off." Like that alibi was so weak that it had to be true. Like, really, that's what you're coming up with? Like, that's my point. Like, if it was a lie, they could have came up with a better one. Is my point.
That's the first time that Chelsea's ever beat me at the name game. The whole name game is if you can get your response to Chelsea putting your name in before somebody else throws in a chat, you win. And I've won 20 times in a row. She just beat me the first time. I just have to give her credit. She's got the crown today.
Oh.
Derpy Durble is in the house.
Well done there, Chelsea. If I may add a note to Jen's statement. Jen, I think this is the perfect argument because everyone's arguing.
Yeah.
There's been so much chaos and discord over this whole matter.
Right.
With no resolutions, right? With no resolutions to many, many things.
I refuse to accept it. I refuse.
Well, that's the thing they're hoping is that everybody will start. Everybody will stop arguing now and looking into it. That's got to be their hope.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Everyone's arguing over these things because there is so much ambiguity and nonsense and things that just don't make sense.
JJ, do you trust Ann 100%?
At this point in time, I don't trust anybody in the state of Idaho, ma'am.
Same. I always had a feeling, like, I just felt like he can't be that lucky that he ends up with, like, this good of a public defender who seems to be, like, really having his back. There's no way. Listen, if you've been in the system at all, or like people, public defenders suck.
Yeah, they're part of the prosecution. It's a triangle.
Right.
It's the judge, the prosecution, and the defense that are trying to push the cases through. They could give a crap whether the person is guilty or innocent. They just want a plea deal and get them out of there. And with this one, it's so big and humongous, a big weight on their shoulders. They're doing anything to push it off. It's like they're on a railroad track. Like Steve G said, all of a sudden everything's on a track getting pushed down the rail, and they don't care what we say.
Right, but I mean, I don't know. I can't.
If I may answer Twiz's question there.
Yeah, please do.
If he was to drive 8 miles into Idaho, would I trust someone there? Well, maybe, Twiz. Here's a comparison. I deployed to Iraqistan a number of years back. I had a bunch of Idaho and Utah National Guardsmen underneath my employ. And one fellow in particular, Potato Joe, as I call him, Safety Joe, he, on his full-time civilian job when he was not activated into military duties, into military police duties, he was a safety inspector at a potato factory. So, and he's a Mormon. And even Safety Joe right now is suspect to me, Twiz. Even Safety Joe.
Yeah, you could let's bring up another Joe. Let's bring up Joe Verdecht or whatever his name was.
Never heard of him. Never heard of him.
You know, I'm talking about for the grub truck, and there's all kinds of anomalies there.
Oh, Joe Vito.
Oh, Joe Vito. Okay.
Mr. YouTube himself and Mr. Overmansplainer, and then Twiz was the ultimate troll today because we had a guy that was like a classic YouTuber.
Twiz be twizzin'.
Was Doc Thrifty, and for a long time I followed him, and he was started a new channel, Black Hawk Magnum, and then all of a sudden somebody takes over his Black Hawk Magnum channel and becomes this hater of everyone. And so today they were in chat together, and Black Hawk said something. What was it, Twiz, again? What was your? It was the best troll I've ever. Oh, because for some reason Black Hawk Magnum focused only on Enan Harsh, you know, the neighbor, for like a year. Like every game that he played online and all this stuff was a connection to BK. And so, well, I forgot what the troll was, but it was epic. You guys should have been there. I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
I forgot what we were saying. I never saw that movie. Shit, what were we talking about? What case are we talking about again? Ann. Yeah, JJ, I feel like she does just enough to put it, as she always says, I want to make a really good record for Mr. Kohlberger. Just to be on the record as if she did her job to the standard of whatever the standard is.
You bring up some good points, ma'am. It's certainly possible because she is a UNVI grad with
Yep.
sorority as well there. So,
Oh, listen to
yeah,
this.
she
You have to
was
look into
sorority.
this. So
Yeah.
the lawyer that was gave the statement from Maddie's family, right? I forget his name, but the law firm he works at, it was like something in weeks, right?
Well, if I'm gonna be honest with you, ma'am, if there's no Jewish men involved in the partnership of that law firm, they're bush
there might
league.
be, there might be. But listen, so there's a lawyer named Susan Weeks, and I wondered if she was. I mean, Weeks is not like it's a rare name, but
Well, that's an Anglo name, but yes, please continue.
The investment company that purchased the properties and with the Lucifer Morningstar notary, all that whole situation. The guy's name is Stephen Weeks. So I wonder.
Oh, Weeks, yeah. I have something for you.
I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they're like, it's his wife or something. I mean, everything's connected in this case.
I mean, that is interesting. I used to know a guy named Dudley Weeks, real suspect.
I mean,
probably not relevant, but did y'all see the attorney for Kohlberger's family? Allegedly, he was the assistant. What? He's the assistant public defender for Monroe County. How in the world is the assistant public defender for Monroe County making statements for the Kohlberger family?
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, all of a sudden they have a lawyer, but he doesn't.
Who's their lawyer? Is it that same guy, Jason whatever?
No, this dude's a Puerto Rican fella.
Gotcha.
I'll give you his name in a minute. I'm rolling up a doobie.
Doesn't matter. I didn't even see that part. I was surprised that they were there. I would be scared to go to Idaho if I was them. Like, these people, I guess no, because they're satiated now because they got a plea deal.
So we're turning on our third hour. We're just getting started here at the Perch. If you're new to the Perch,
this is the best show ever. This is the best Perch we've ever done.
This is just the opening statement.
We've just gotten to say all the names. Twiz finally joined the chat. Twiz is watching, and we've got another thing, and I'm looking forward to watching the parts of the hearing that I recorded with you, JJ. But one of the things I noticed, and I wouldn't have noticed it had he hadn't repeated it 3 times, stressing the actual word in a row, would be process.
Church?
He left the church out, but he did say process and emphasized it 3 times, and I couldn't help but notice it.
JJ, I was watching, like, I don't know, or something today, and there was a commercial, and it was the freaking Best Friends Animal Society commercial. I'm like, what?
No
Creepy.
way.
Yeah.
Kane, are you cloning me?
I cloned you in the thumbnail. If you notice, I cloned your. There was a lot of cloning going on today.
Not only did I pick up on that process, I'm glad you did, sir. I salute you.
And in a million years, it never would have meant anything to me had you not been part of the show. Extra hula burgers for you, sir.
Did you hear when we were talking about when Steve said that he signed a waiver for something mail related with MPD? I don't know if you heard us when we were talking about that. Any ideas what that could be about?
I missed that. Please describe it to me. What is this?
Okay, so he did an interview with, I think the reporter's name is Lawrence Jones, in front of MPD, him and Steve and Christie, and that's when he made the comment, "Don't make me be the alpha." That interview. He said that they had.
Oh, so that was back in 2022, right?
Yeah, it was
early on.
Early on. That he said something to the effect of that they had to go in to MPD to sign a waiver for something mail related. That's what Steve said. It could be MALE, but I think it's more likely that it's MAIL. Now, if it was for one of the victims' mail, they would just do a search warrant. Correct me if I'm wrong. So if it's a waiver that they had to sign, the G's, Steve or Christie and or both of them, whatever, that means it was for their mail more than likely. What do you think?
I mean, you make some good points. It's hard to tell, right? I mean, again, but these are things that were probably relevant to the whole circumstances that did transpire, but we'll never know at this point.
Yeah, like it's just weird. Like, why did they want their mail? I don't know. Doesn't make sense. One of the many things that does not make sense.
You ain't kidding, ma'am. You ain't kidding.
Nope. Oh, so what I was saying before the break, I'm just gonna throw just a crazy little thought that came into my head. Hunter was always there, right? At 1122 King. He seemed to have like a vested interest in the house. I did a video showing that Emily at one point used to live in that 6th empty bedroom on the bottom right of the house. I don't think it makes any sense that Kaylee left her stuff behind and was not moving to Texas till February, signed a year lease, but moved out. Like that, no. I think she lived somewhere else. Maybe she lived with Jack D. I don't know. Not another boyfriend, maybe. They got in an argument or something. Maybe she was staying with Maddie temporarily, and that's why she was in Maddie's bed. Because that makes no sense if she would leave Murphy alone and choose to sleep in a small bed, all of that. So what if this girl Josie lived in that big upstairs, or no, what if Hunter and Emily lived upstairs in the big bedroom? Maybe that girl Josie, who I think is the real 6th roommate, lived in the empty bedroom, was still paying rent, because as far as I can tell on her social media, it looks like she moved across the street with her boyfriend into those apartments on Taylor Avenue. And that would make sense as to why she is still paying rent, but not there. Maybe she wanted to live with her boyfriend, right? That happens. So
Makes sense.
Hunter and Emily live upstairs on that top in the big bedroom. Josie is across the street. She's a criminal justice major. Those are the three that were there when the 911 call happened, in addition to Bethany and Dylan. I feel like that makes more sense. No? What do you think?
Well, at this juncture, ma'am, I'm willing to believe Jimmy Hoffa lived there.
Like, it's just like, the only reason someone would leave their stuff behind, and it wasn't like she left like just big items of furniture behind. Like that picture with her and Dylan in the mirror, the selfie, which looks like AIAF. You can see like her necklaces and jewelry. Like, no.
Well, it's just as likely that it came with the frame. You know, we're talking about the furniture was just a part of the room. It's part of the rental. You get
but not
the bed.
Photos
you don't have to
and
move.
Jewelry and like personal items. No, I don't buy it. Why did Kaylee have her purse in the car? Why didn't she leave it in her room? I don't know.
Where's the probate cases? Where's the evidence of any funerals? How did they all get cremated?
More importantly, I mean, here's the thing, Jage, is they literally think that by doing this, they're going to shut us all up, that they've trumped us, but all they've done is reignite the fire. I'm all of us, every single person in this chat is more fired up than they were on Monday when we even before, like on Sunday, before we heard this news. We're just even more bewildered by what occurred. And so it's clearly there is some motive or agenda here to hide something. And, you know, to keep that non-dissemination order and for Ann to agree to that till the end of the month really stands out in my brain hole.
May I provide you a follow-up response to that?
Please do.
You nailed it, sir. This is what I think the intended goal is. We're all in a matter of discord and chaos, trying to figure out what the F Scott Fitzgerald happened here. I caught myself. You didn't think I was. And what we're really talking about is none of it makes any sense. There was no one who benefited from the deal, and we're all left talking about it, and it causes discord. Now, all of this has served multiple purposes: chaos and discord, and a distraction from that Diddy trial that he just walked on.
But wait, someone does benefit. Someone benefits. Whoever leaked all this information. Right?
Well, sure. I'm not saying there aren't benefits. Obviously, the roommates don't have to testify. The state benefits in a lot of regards, but I'm saying no one benefits. No one benefits in regards of learning anything else about this.
Oh, we don't. The truth doesn't benefit. Correct. Okay,
right.
Because I'm assuming now they would just go away, right? The investigation into the leak. I mean, listen, Hitler knew immediately. Seems like
that goes away now. You're right. That goes away now.
I mean,
you assume You all assume there was ever any intent to begin with. Again, I think it was only done to solidify any fact to the Dateline show that went along with
Yeah,
it.
exactly. It was like gave it
Validity.
Yeah,
Yeah, it gave
yeah,
it,
like,
it
oh,
gave
it was
credence
a
to the
leak, so it must be
it gave
true.
credence to the claims, right?
Right. I'm sorry, anybody who believes those pixelated, fake looking ass, shitty Photoshop pictures are real, like, get with the program. It's 2025. Nobody's phone is that shitty.
Nobody's
he
phone
sending
was
selfies
ever that bad.
ever in the history of camera
They
phones.
clearly put some kind of old film grain on it and then
Right.
brightened it, and
And
you
it's
know,
all we did was enlarge the photos. Why do you have to enlarge them? Like what? Like if I send you a photo from my phone, do you have to enlarge it to look at it to make it clearer? No, they do it to hide the Photoshop evidence. They do it. They make things pixelated on purpose because then it's just like, oh, it's just a bad.
and
It's just a
the
blurry
funny
photo.
thing is now even the Anjanette Levy's, the crossovers from mainstream media are quick to jump on the list. Actually, Anjanette Levy's got a pretty level-headed look at it. She's still ready to make that list about how it's Bundy, how it's BTK, how and all these things, his obsessions, and all the stupid lies that they told us are now making sense all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, did you see? I think it was on During Turkey, and Janet Levy was on there, and people were asking. I think it was her. It was his show. Anyway, people were asking her like, "Can you clarify what's up with the driver? Because was it Eric Gower or not? Right? Simple question. Because she did the interview with him, but he didn't want to put it. Say his name. He was anonymous, but the person you interviewed, Anjanette, says the person you interviewed said they lived 1,200 feet from Bryan, and drove full time as their means of earning an income. Eric Gower works at the university, right? Like, does the two stories don't match? So Anjanette is allegedly the only person that actually interviewed whoever it is that said they were the driver. So it's either someone pretending to be the driver, which is really suspicious and maybe the real killer, or Eric Gower. That whole story is bullshit, which
I wanted to
both those situations could be true, but she wouldn't answer. She's like, I don't know. Like she couldn't just was it Eric Gower or not?
I wanted to welcome Marietta Rosa into the chat. We haven't seen her as much since Thought Riot days. What an honor and pleasure to have the lovely Marietta Rosa here. And here's two more things that they get away with.
Yeah, she wouldn't even acknowledge it, is my point.
Is Schindler's List. And also you have
great film.
I never saw it.
Yeah, they never have to punish anybody for the leak. They never have to explain the FBI failure on the cellular data records. They nothing has to get explained, where they trumped up this entire bluff. And here's the thing that is possible that Jen was alluding to earlier, is they could have convinced BK that they had all this stuff and it was hopeless at this point. Clearly it was hopeless for him at a trial in Idaho.
Right. Just do this. So, maybe he doesn't understand like the process really. Like
he might think that they got me even though I didn't do it. And they're gonna
let me just plead guilty, and then I can always appeal and get exonerated, as the word that he used in his statement. Remember, the Pennsylvania lawyer said that he looks forward to being exonerated. You have to be convicted to be exonerated. Otherwise, you could be found not guilty. You could be, what's the other word?
Schindler's List. No, it's
you talking about Jason Labar.
Yeah, but what's the word when like you're convicted or
acquitted.
Not exonerated, acquitted. There you go. He could have said acquitted or I'm innocent or not guilty, but he said exonerated. Like you have to be found guilty in the first place to be exonerated. So I could totally my cell phone. What if they did talk to him before that? What if they did? What if they did? What if they did?
I think you're looking at it from a non-attorney standpoint, which is reasonable. But he's
Because
just
I'm not an
using
attorney.
legalese. That's what I'm saying. He's just using legalese, right? I think
Oh
that's
no,
all that's
but he
going on
said
there.
Bryan wrote that, like it was Bryan's words. He just put it out there. It wasn't because people brought up the choice of that word exonerated. I think it was like Bryan Enton, and he was like, no, it was Bryan Kohlberger's choice. It was his words.
Well, it may be
Exonerated. I don't know. I mean, it could be nothing, but could be more. I don't know. And depending on the level of his autism, I was looking into like false confessions and neurodivergent people, and there's a high risk of false confessions because it's some people maybe harder to see like kind of the malicious intent in certain people, and seeing things in black and white, or maybe being too trusting of authoritative figures. There's a lot of reasons that they were listed, but I could see him trusting and being easily manipulated, kind of, in a way. I could see it.
That's exactly what I think both of us were saying, is that he's completely sheltered in the dark there.
Yeah.
And he's having to go on the word of his attorney, and
not picking up on social cues. You're not picking up on someone's like.
It's an awful thought, but I don't think anything has changed. I think she remains a part of the let's get a plea deal, let's get him convicted program. She's on the Friends and Family plan.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that. Let's look at the known knowns if we're going to quote Donald Rumsfeld. So we know that they've been up against a mountain the entire time with all the rights violations. We see Hurwitz joining the charge. I mean, it's nice to see you let Bill. He let Bill come up to the big boy stage.
Right, finally talked.
But the point being there is that imagine what's going on behind the scenes in that regard that we don't see regarding this full court press.
Breaking news for you, Jage. Miss Potts says that she has the flight booking records for Steve G, and apparently it looks like he booked that flight weeks in advance. So somehow, even though they say, even Hitler said, I didn't hear about this till Monday, how did the families know to go to Boise on this particular date? So that'll be interesting to see when she talks about it tomorrow.
Well, that is very interesting, because the one thing I noticed was everybody in the state, and Bill included, they all looked like someone shit in their or pooped in their Cheerios today instead of celebrating what seemed to be a celebratory day for them.
I mean, he couldn't even get his bullshit straight. He was saying the traffic stop from Don Daniel or Don Duke, whatever.
How are you going to use that, dude? How are you going to
mention but he said it was on August 22nd, but it was on August 21st.
It just makes the list sound longer,
Yeah, he said the selfie was at 9 something. I could have sworn originally it was like around 10:30 or something. They said it was taken. Just like a bunch of. You could tell that he didn't believe his own bullshit, and I feel like the reason he finally spoke was because he's retiring. He's been in his position for a long time. They're probably like, listen, I'm not getting up on the record saying all that shit. You can do it. You're leaving anyway.
It literally looked like Bill was shaking, waiting for somebody to start laughing when he was reading off the evidence they had on him.
Because when you say it all together consecutively like that, like it's like really.
It's unforged. It's really unforged.
Totes unforged. Where's Mom? Call Mom again.
She didn't answer. I don't know. We're gonna have to call the front desk here. I want
not to have trauma in your life. I think worst case scenario.
I know that you guys are fired. I'm gonna give you 30 more minutes of banter, and then we're gonna get down and knuckle down on watching the events unfold from today.
Well, first of all, I didn't sign up for any of these knucklings, sir. However, I do need to take a 5 or a 7.
You need a 7?
6.5.
Okay.
You can have 6.5.
I'll brew another pot of coffee for you, and when you're ready, come on back. Twiz might jump up here. I'm not sure. He's getting pissed off.
What a donut.
Look, first of all, Twiz better jump up here. I don't know what the consequences would be other than just saying Twiz better jump up here.
Yeah, I hope
Twiz.
that pisses him off. He's been on 2 other shows, and he refuses to do mine for some reason.
Dude, I send
It's an
Twiz a
insult.
message every week inviting him to come join us, dude.
Fair enough.
I had to take a break from freaking all this shit. Like, I was just like, it was too much. I shit going on with graduation. I was like, I need every once in a while. I take an Idaho4 break because it's like my brain just.
Yeah, I have to watch like dumb people TV for an hour a
Yeah.
day just to take my mind off it. Go for a walk, ride my
I
bike.
don't think
You
a lot
know,
of dumb people TV.
when I'm doing the DoorDash, all I do is think about, you know, where I'm going to. So that does help alleviate it a little bit. But
You want to know my favorite dumb people TV show on Netflix? It's called Tires. It's hilarious.
tires? That sounds really dumb.
It's hilarious. It's just like about like a mechanic tire shop, and like it's funny. If anyone's seen it on Netflix, it's hilarious.
Oh, I guess
I
Twiz
highly
has done
recommend.
12 hours on other shows, but he can't be bothered with The Purge. I get it. That's fine. No love for The Purge, huh, Twiz? That's fine.
Don't take it personal.
Well, let's
okay.
see if we can think of some more things to ignite his fire, and maybe we'll go on. Anyway.
Just talk about Ann Taylor.
Well, let's talk about it, Taylor. Let's go ahead and move on with this video I got from today and see where we get for it.
Okay.
Hold on, I gotta redo the hold on 1 second. Thank you for your patience. If you're new to the Purge, Tony's here.
Please hit that like button. Please subscribe.
This is the best Purge there's ever been, without a doubt. Let's see here. This is probably, honestly, I think this is probably the best Purge that we've
Until
had.
you
I mean,
purge.
we've done. Listen, Jen, have we not done a lot of great purges? We've done some
amazing purges. Not just some, all of them.
But this one really is. I think that finally, the people that are left that are still not buying the narrative that they're still trying to push, and I think that they're amazed that they got this far with it. Are finally seeing the light of everything that we've brought to light, and so
I mean, look at it this way.
that's why you have some of the most intelligent people. Oh, Super Planner Girl! Just as I say it, welcome in, welcome in. That you have the creme de la creme in our chat or watching every single night. Glenda SD, San Diego, welcome in, welcome in. Good to see you. I mean, even Chelsea Whitaker. Chelsea Whitaker is not a chat person. The only thing she does chatting online is giving violin lessons. And this ain't no violin lesson. This is...
How do you give a violin lesson through chat? That's talent.
I don't know. She does it. She has magical powers as far as music goes. She gets it from Pagini. You know, he was the first person to start that whole sold your soul to the devil thing. Or
did you see I got everyone fired up on Twitter? When I posted, I said, so does this mean that the G's are going to give back all the GoFundMe money?
Oh, I was wondering if that was real. I thought you were serious that they were going to give it back.
I am serious. Are they? Because they don't have to go to trial.
Well, he had talked about retiring and not wanting to work anymore, so maybe they'll put that towards having a peaceful life, and I wish them the best. I do, and I hope that I know they will continue watching The Purge. Maybe they're not watching tonight. They probably just want to put everything out of their mind today and have a little bit of quiet time. But I know that as we continue to seek justice for his daughter, that he will tune in. And I hope that we can at least sway his opinion if it's not set in stone by whatever bind he has to...
It's not. Because look at now, he's bringing up valid points that everyone else has been saying, and like now he's choosing to use his platform and his voice to bring up points about.
He's always made his opinion clear, you know. But when you start throwing rhetoric out there, and 1 minute you're slashing the law enforcement, and the next minute they're the holiest angels on earth, and now the prosecution are the bad guy. I mean, they're literally blaming Bill Thompson when he calls him a 75-year-old man for not being able to
Yeah,
spin.
that was. I mean, come on.
It's like he's blaming him for not being able to spin poop into gold. You know what
It's
I mean?
like he's promised something and he feels betrayed. Like I feel like he's taking it really personal. Like, I don't know.
Well, of course.
Did you see the statement that he made where he's like, "Oh, when the truth comes out, you guys are going to be shocked," or something like that? Did you see that?
It's like, you know that song. It's like, give me something to believe in. I can't even believe in an Anne at this point anymore. As much as I tried to like her at this point, but the only saving grace she has with me right now is the smile when she was getting him to sign those papers. It was like behind that smile, there was a release for BK. It was the only way out. He made the right decision by doing that. So I don't know.
I don't trust anyone that graduated from UI. I'm sorry. I'm just jaded, I guess. But did you see the Gonsalves family page? The comment they made, or the post they made, where they said, something about we fought here. Let me find. I'll read to you. It said, blah blah blah. We fought harder than anyone could ever imagine. Please don't argue or try to tell us that we should have done this or that. We gave it 200%. Blah blah blah. One day we will tell you all what we have really been through from day one. You will all be shocked. What's that about? Why don't you tell us now?
That's why I almost am inclined to believe that he's been put in witness protection, because at this point, A, if they release him, somebody's going to come after him. B, if he goes to prison, somebody's going to come after him, one way or the other, because he didn't get the DP. Think about it.
The double. The death penalty. Okay, got it.
You have a dirty mind. Let Twiz come out here and hack it out with me about Ann, because you've said it yourself, Chelsea, that these appeal possibilities that they qualify for after this is signed are very high barred and hard to attain. So where's your Ann Taylor now? Where's your Ann Taylor now, dude? She had all this stuff. She was building a case, and then all of a sudden, with no new golden Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom golden nugget, she just folds the case as the prosecution's case is disintegrating, just like the House was. I mean, you can come on up here and tell me yourself. I would love to hear it. But yeah, it's like others says, nothing is portrayed. There's more to it. There's just something we don't know. And I still feel, Jen, that the key to this is finding out who's the most importantly connected possible alternative suspect that they're willing to go this far to protect at this point. And that's the key to solving it. Do we lose Jen? Jen down. I'm up here by myself. Let's play a song. I can't get it, Chelsea. I let the drunk guy...
Okay, I couldn't unmute.
I let the drunk guy touch my guitar.
Do you...
Never get it back.
Do you know the channel Idaho4 Revealed?
I've heard of it. I haven't watched many of the videos, but...
Oh, you're missing out.
Really?
Missing out. Okay, he, or I think it's a he, put out a video a day ago, about Four Brothers. And guess who is part of Four Brothers?
What Four Brothers?
Well, the four...
the four
the family
DNA
tree.
brothers?
Yeah.
Are you, who?
Yeah,
Who? Please tell me.
Scott Green.
What?
You have to just play it. Why don't you play it? Because I'm not
can't
explaining
play
it.
other people's content. I get 12.
No,
copyright
I don't
strikes
think
in a row.
I don't believe that he minds.
I don't really care. It's not going to happen. Give me the
Pussy.
gist of it. Give me the cliff notes.
I don't know. Hold on. You want me to like? I don't know. I wrote it down somewhere. Hold on.
I got it, Chelsea. I got it. I knew it was up.
Oh, hold on. Copyright trauma, like PTSD. Don't.
It's a cicada.
Oh, I'm trying to find the notes. Damn it. I need an assistant.
That Eastern's killing me, Chelsea.
Hold on. What an organized mess.
We got an echo in here.
I don't know. Hold on.
On the freeway in the county in Idaho. All
Idaho.
the LEs, yes, they know they are lying through their teeth, and they lie. As I sit in my cell and all the fine hunters come running to me, they call me and they promise me things, but in the end I take out a big plea, 'cause Sunday morning in Ada County jail.
I don't know what the fuck.
Here comes the solo. You came for the donuts and you stayed for the guitar solo.
Oh, one thing I wanted to
That's all I
say. One thing I wanted to say. It was only like in one document, I think, but there was something about how Dylan was like kept checking the Snapchat map, the Snap map for Ethan and Xana's location. Remember that?
The snap mat, yeah.
So it's like, okay, why are you checking their location if you walked by and saw Xana allegedly unconscious? This is when she goes down to Bethany's room initially. I'm talking about that. If they were there, why did she keep checking it? Because even if they were unalived, this should have been showing them at that location. You get what I'm saying? Why did she have to keep checking to
There's
see where they
another
were?
thing that we might never find out about is those Snapchats and the deleted photographs and the messages to her dad. And whatever the text messages were that we didn't get to see. And the phone calls. What was on the phone call. Here's the bottom line. If you're not going to get that, the altruism, what is it called? I'm sorry, the allocute out of BK, where he can literally describe exactly what occurred, how it went down, where the knife is, what his motive was. They didn't make him offer a motive.
Forget the motive. Where's the weapon?
And then, if you can tell me exactly where the wounds are on each person, please, then I'll believe you. I'll go ahead and believe you. If you just say yes, like a zombie to something, it means nothing to me.
Yes, exactly.
Nothing. Zero. Zero.
He's just doing as he's told. Yeah, I don't buy it. And I almost feel like I wouldn't even be surprised if they flew in his parents to like get him like I just like, you know what I'm saying, like appeal to his like emotionally manipulate him a little bit in a way. You get what I'm saying? That's why now they're coming after all this time.
Mm-hmm.
Because and it was like it happened quick. So like those flights are not cheap to get like.
And Hitler had put a deadline on a plea deal for the end of June, early of July. All right, well, JJ's gone. Let's take a look at this here.
Because you're admitting those things are true.
Okay.
Yes. I want to also make, for the record, the defendant has provided with the guilty plea advisory form a document entitled Written Factual Basis that purports to have the defendant's signature dated 1 July 2025. Did you sign that document?
Yes.
And did you agree with the written factual basis that is included there?
Yes.
And then let me ask you, did you, on November 13th, 2022, enter the residence at 1122 King Road in Moscow, Idaho, with the intent to commit the felony crime of murder?
Yes.
Did you, on November 13th, 2022, in Latah County, state of Idaho, kill and murder Madison Mogan, a human being?
Yes.
And did you do that willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, and with premeditation and malice aforethought?
Yes.
Did you, on or about that same date in Moscow, Idaho, kill and murder Kaylee Gonzalez, a human being?
Yes.
And did you do that willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, and with premeditation and malice aforethought?
Yes.
And did you, on that same date in Moscow, Idaho, kill and murder Xana Kernodle, a human being?
Yes.
And did you do that willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, with premeditation and malice aforethought?
Yes.
And then on or about November 13th, 2022, again in Latah County, Idaho, did you kill and murder Ethan Chapin, a human being?
Yes.
Did you do that willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, with premeditation and malice aforethought?
Yes.
I would ask the state at this time to provide its recitation of its factual basis had this case gone.
All right, Jen. Right here is where they start to get into it. I want to wait for JJ to come back to hit this part. I mean, this is
Yeah,
what
where
I'm
he
talking
like
about.
plays around with the words.
I'm literally
Yeah,
gonna
he doesn't just
gonna
say,
zoom it. I'm gonna zoom it all the way in so that you can see what I'm talking, because I was watching it.
I don't have a high resolution monitor.
I was watching on my high resolution monitor, and you can literally see like him waiting for somebody, like shut the hell up. You know what I mean? It's like let me blow it up. Hold on. It's the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard, seen, or read, and it happened today. It was live, and I mean, when you hear BK say yes, it's shocking. I'll agree. And then you're like, why is he doing this, dude? It absolutely, it doesn't add up. And so it's just another fishy business to this whole thing. So let's look at, boy, Bill Nye just looks like he got browbeat in the last two hearings. And look at Hurwitz just sitting there completely silent. Bill's like, my job's online, and Shushley is just a whole nother mess. She's got her nightgown jacket outfit going on again. No bother for fashion.
Whose jacket was Maddie wearing? Speaking of jackets,
right?
That was a man's jacket. That was a man's jacket. I'm sorry.
It's the one that wound up on the fire hydrant by the Banfield guys.
It sure as fuck does. It looks identical.
It is exactly that jacket.
Even if it's not, whose jacket was she wearing? Who? That wasn't just like an oversized, like the style, an oversized woman's coat. No. That was a man's coat, clearly.
All right, I'm going to play this before JJ gets back. We can rewind it if he wants to. Hopefully he didn't stumble down the stairs here. All right, let's check.
The trial.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, the organization of the recitation is different than what I think the court and the public may be familiar with from the problem.
Jen, I'm going to add the gain to this part. I think this might blast out because I'm going to put a gain filter on it so it's louder. And I think halfway through it, there's two things that happened right here. His audio went low, and so I added a gain filter. So I'll lower the volume. There might be a spike, so maybe be ready to tune your TVs just for a second. And then also, I think Twiz said that Ashley Jennings moved Bill Thompson's mic, and there was an echo. So I panicked. I thought some other window.
There was an echo.
Yeah, there was,
wasn't
and
a
I
bad
wasn't
window.
sure. I thought it was me. I thought I had another window open, but when I checked,
Same.
there was no other windows open. And then when I was watching Anjanette Levy, she's like, "Yeah, there was an echo right here," and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
And
It was
Twiz
just someone
like, "Yeah."
repeating the same exact things. And I was like, is that a reporter? But no, they wouldn't be doing that. And like, I didn't know what the fuck it was.
Yeah, Payne was at the trial too. Also, that's right to know. Okay, let's play through this. I've got the volume
Okay.
boosted. Let me start low. I'm gonna rewind it just a smidgy widgy, and there we go. Hold on. Sorry.
Evidence as an overview would show that back in March of 2022, when the defendant was residing in his parents' residence or was residing back in Pennsylvania, his home state, he purchased online a K-bar knife and sheath with an Amazon gift card that he had purchased shortly prior to the purchase of the knife, sheath, and sharpener. Jumping ahead, the end of June of that year, the defendant, Mr. Kohlberger, moved from Pennsylvania to Pullman, Washington, which is right across the state line from Moscow, Idaho, for the purpose of pursuing a PhD in criminal justice at Washington State University. The state's evidence would indicate that beginning July 9th of 2022, Mr. Kohlberger's phone began connecting to a cell tower that serves the area of the 1122 King Road residence in Moscow, Idaho. Now, I will acknowledge for the court and all present that there are many residences in that area.
All right, Jen, right there is our first mansplaining event. And it's like he just read all this stuff about putting him there, and then so I realized it doesn't really put him there. And but hey, can we move past that? Oh, sure. I'm Judge
Yeah.
Hippler. Why should we question anything that you do? And
Right.
but we can't even let Ann finish a full sentence.
His
Population
his
of
body
local
language.
college-related occupants. Between July 9th of 2022 and November 7th, the defendant's phone connected to that particular tower during late night, early morning hours, 10 p.m. to 4 a.m., on approximately 23 times. Now, I will acknowledge also, we do not have evidence that the defendant had direct contact with 1122 or with residents of 1122, but we can put his phone in that area on those times. In the interim, on August 22nd of 2022, Lake Tahoe County Sheriff's Deputy Darren Duke conducted a traffic stop in the early morning hours.
Again, right there, Jen, he goes from saying we can put his phone in the area,
And that
not
Now-
at the house, but in the
Right, you
area. But then they move on
It's
to a
27
traffic
miles.
stop from a year ago. What the? I mean,
it's
what kind of
27 miles.
what kind
He
of
could've been
jump
home.
is
He could've
that?
been home.
When he started talking, I wanted to believe him. I'm like, okay, here it comes.
Yes,
Here
finally.
comes the big smacker. We're gonna get it right. And then he goes, oh yeah, and then he got pulled over a year ago. What? So what?
It's just like in the PCA when they say Dylan saw a man she did not recognize or something, and that leads us to believe that he left the house, something like that. Not the exact words, but it's like, why does someone not recognizing someone lead you to believe they left the house? Like, it's just like stupid shit, just spinning stuff together.
So stupid, dude. So stupid.
Or late evening
Oh,
hours,
it's
about
stupid,
11
though.
p.m. On the west side of Moscow, on the Moscow-Pullman Road. This was a traffic stop of Mr. Kohlberger's car, which turned out to be a 2015 white.
Hello.
Yeah, what's up?
I still want to know, add this to the list, what about that one time that they claim his cell phone pinged or whatever, but he really wasn't there?
I'm not
On the
sure.
PCA?
I'm not tracking on that one.
In the PCA, it says, whatever, it was, I forgot what date it was.
Well, you know
They
what
said he was-
happened is they threw that out with the
his phone-
PCA itself.
Well, his phone is in the PCA. It says like Bryan's phone connected to the tower or something, but investigators don't believe that he was there on this date. Something to that effect. Like,
All right, let's go on here.
why is it not
Elantra
working that?
with Pennsylvania plates. During the course of the traffic stop, Deputy Duke was able to obtain Mr. Kohlberger's name, Bryan Kohlberger, his phone number, and his address, which at that point was an apartment address in Pullman. We then move to the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022. The state's evidence would show that early morning hours on that day, Mr. Kohlberger's phone left his Pullman residence, which is an apartment in kind of the central northwest part of Pullman. That phone was then subsequently turned off at approximately 2:54 a.m. and remained off until approximately 4:48 a.m. on Sunday, the 13th of November. The state's evidence would include at trial video surveillance of a business on the.
All right, Jen. Here's the echo part. It started right here. I wasn't watching to see if Jennings moved his mic, but here's the interesting part about it. Is it's either an echo or the words are being said before he says them. So it's like this whole thing was taped ahead of time. You know what I mean? Like
Moscow-Pullman Highway, just across the state line from Moscow. It would show a vehicle
Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know.
matching the description of the defendant's Hyundai Elantra entering Moscow.
See, this is where I started freaking out and trying to close windows and stuff. So you won't see Bill for just a second, guys. I apologize. You'll still be able to hear him, but I was like trying to shut everything out. I had Dinky open. I had Echoes of Clarity. I had, what's her name, Christy Nevada open. So I was like, oh my gosh, one of those must have started up again. And so anyway, welcome in, Sarah D. Irish, I'm sorry.
Approximately 3:02 a.m. Compiled surveillance that the investigators put together from businesses and residents then show the defendant's car, the white Elantra, the 1122 King Road area, that neighborhood, starting around 3:30 or so in the morning. Comes into the immediate area of 1122 King Road, which is actually on a dead end, and then leaves several times. And approximately 4:05 that morning, the defense car had entered that area, was leaving, stopped at the intersection of King and Queen Road, did a U-turn, and the state's evidence would show that the defendant's car came back and parked behind and above the 1122 King Road residence. The state believes that its evidence would then show that the defendant entered the residence of 1122 through the kitchen sliding door on the back side of the residence, which is the side of the residence that would face the area above where the defendant's car was parked. Defendant entered the residence, went to the third floor, and with a knife, killed Madison Mogan and Kaylee Gonzalez. The defendant, as he left that room, for whatever reason, ended up leaving, or the sheath for a K-bar knife was left on the bed next to Madison Mogan's body. And I can jump ahead. That sheath was tested by the Idaho State Police Forensic Lab, and single-source male DNA was found on the snap of that sheath, as well as blood from both Kaylee and Madison and other trace evidence.
I mean, if this wasn't so serious, to all of us in this chat right now, from Becky to Meanie to M. Hawkins, anybody else, Backwoods, this would be a comedy act. This would be a comedy act. He literally throws in that there was blood from the victims on the sheath. Wow, big surprise. You know, and it's like that's why he's guilty. Because his car was clean, He's guilty. There's no blood.
You
He's
know how hard it
guilty.
is to get blood out? Come on, give me a break. Even the cops thought there was going to be blood in his apartment. It's on the search warrant. They thought there was going to be there was a lot of blood splatter. There's going to be evidence, blah blah blah. There's going to be the victim's DNA. No, there wasn't. Nope. Like, you guys lied to yourselves.
evidence, but it's important to note single source male DNA was on the snap of that sheath.
That really has Hitler's attention right there when he says single source. It couldn't be from anyone else. It's from this. No, it's from a single person, but it could match about 75% of the population. And then you compared it to the DNA of his father instead of him.
But wait a minute. Okay, if there's two female,
I'm a turtle on my back. I can't get up. Help me, Bill Thompson. Help me get up.
If there's female DNA or blood, right, from Maddie and Kaylee, and then like, I find it hard to believe that
Hard to believe. It's complete bullshit.
I mean,
You can see right through it. It's translucent.
Because if it was a mixture, all you can tell from a mixture is if there was a male there, but it could be two males, it could be a male and a female. You just know that a male was in the mixture somehow.
You know, Tony Stevenson, that's actually kind of one of the things I've thought from the beginning of this case is single white female. If anybody's seen that movie, you know what I'm talking about, with Jennifer Jason Leigh from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which is an excellent movie.
I love her.
Very common occurrence. It's a domestic situation, but somebody involved in that domestic situation cannot be involved here because we have to keep enrollment up at this university. I'm going to write a book
And they're blonde and pretty.
about how great I am at keeping enrollment up despite this adversity. Oh, poor Green. But did you hear? Is that what JJ said? No, you said that Scott Green was one of the four brothers.
I didn't say no. I said Scott Green has.
Has four brothers. Oh, okay.
Right.
You confused me there, okay.
I think kids and there's like one sister and then four brothers. Scott's one of the four, if I'm remembering the video correctly. It's awesome. The video's great. Idaho4 reveals.
Lucy, save. Do I need to read that right now? She's making me read. So I'd have to switch over. Let's get through this. Let's get through this part of the hearing. Somebody called JJ and wake him up so he comes back on the show.
Wait a minute, Kane.
Yes, ma'am.
I wonder why Bill said that Brian parked above and behind. Like, why not just say the back parking lot?
I think we're about to get to that right now. So
yeah,
let's keep on rolling here. So I want to get through that. We're at 3 hours at least on the purge right now. I think maybe
that's
4.
Nothing.
So we're just getting started. But anyway, sir.
Yeah.
The state's evidence would show that Xana Knodel was still awake at this time. In fact, had taken a DoorDash order not long before this started. Her room was not on the 3rd floor. It was on the.
Okay, if you're watching closely, you can notice with Bill that this is where the shakety shake. He's got the hippie shakes right here. When let me rewind this just a little bit for JJ, in case he's still awake. He probably did just as many shows as Twiz did today, so no harm, no foul if he conked out on us. Jen's just as excited to be here as I've ever seen her, so we'll keep
west
going.
side. As the defendant was either coming down the stairs or leaving, he encountered Xana, and he ended up killing her, also with a large knife. Ethan Chapin, Xana's boyfriend, was asleep in her bedroom, and the defendant killed him as well.
Jen, he's literally stuttering through it at this point. It's I can't believe they're letting me say this.
Right, oh my god, this really.
Here's what's crazy. Here's what's crazy, Jen, is they're just as surprised as anybody else. The only one that doesn't seem surprised by it is Hitler and Ann Taylor. Neither of them seem
Yeah.
bothered by it at all. Bill is like,
You're right.
is this really happening? He's waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah, he's like, man, like, I can't believe I'm really fucking
I
saying
can't
this shit,
believe
like,
we got off.
really?
We got out of this, and we got off this easy. No way! I can't believe it.
But it's like, oh, don't make me say it because damn, when I put it all together, like this is not gonna make any sense. No one's gonna be this stupid.
Yeah, they're gonna
Oh, shit,
disbar
they
me
were
for this
they were
shit.
that stupid.
You know.
Oh shit, they're not stupid.
All right, here we go.
with a large fixed bait line. Each victim suffered multiple wounds. I will state for the record that there is no evidence there was any sexual component or sexual.
Maybe he's going through puberty again because his voice keeps cracking. Also, is something. I mean, he's got all the signs of somebody that's just in complete shock.
Is he
He's in a
following the
frozen
right
shock
dates?
phase with one
He's giving the
eyebrow
wrong dates,
delivering this
like,
freaking
he-
thing. I'm sorry,
He
go
doesn't
ahead.
know what the dates are. I'm saying he's giving the wrong dates. Like it's like, bro, do you even lift? Like, you know, like he's saying the wrong dates for the traffic stop. Like, what is he even talking about?
Oh yeah, good to see you, Toes. Nice to have you in. Welcome
Hey,
in. Welcome
Toes.
Sorry, let's keep going.
assault
Proceed,
on any
proceed.
of the victims. I want to make that clear so there's no speculation. There were two other
He wants to make it clear so there's no speculation. Sorry, Bill, you got the wrong show. Have you ever heard of The Purge? Yeah, I'm sure you have.
Out of everything to make clear, he had to make that part clear.
They are
That-
they
my
I,
judgment.
at some point they make a reference to, I guess somebody sent them some threats or whatever, and Hitler tries to say to curtail the chicanery that's going on out there. He makes direct references to me. With chicanery, Heather was the first one to point that out. And I'm just like, okay, you
Get
know.
over yourself.
If he had said arcane chicanery, I would have been like, okay, that's it. We're done. We know we got your attention. Because here's the thing. He may not, or you know, the 90,000 people that watch Lana and Tommy Jude show may not tune in here. But you know what? The top 1% of the people that are in YouTube watch this show. And you don't think that my thumbnails have gotten his attention where I've got him splashing around in the toilet and digging
Your thumbnails
graves?
are top-notch.
You
Top-notch
think that he
thumbnails.
likes that? Do you think that Payne likes having him displayed as a midget driving around in a pink Barbie Jeep? You know what I mean? That's why I don't put like big boom, big bombshell today on my thumbnails, because we go through the facts and we find the bombshells. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I've solved the case 15 times in a week.
I wish.
But so I let my artwork do the talking, and so I don't
We do.
need
We kinda, like,
to,
we
you know
talk
what I
it
mean?
out. We talk it out as we go.
Buddy Murphy.
roommates in the house, and they were already asleep. During the course of this,
I don't think we're going to make it through this here. And they were already asleep. Were they, Bill? Really? And now he doesn't have to prove that. So he can literally get away with saying anything the feck that he wants right here. And nobody's even questioning him. And BK is still going to keep saying yes. Because he wants this plea deal for whatever reason. And you know that was a lie, Bill. And you know that was a lie. Am I right or wrong, Jen?
You're right, but I was just thinking of something. It seems like the only things that like Bill really was like passionate about clearing up and you know getting it straight was that he didn't stalk any of the victims, and then today when he like kind of reiterated basically the same notion. So like that gets my attention. Like why, out of all the things to clarify, why this? You know what I'm saying? You couldn't clarify whether or not like.
Let me make
I
that
don't know.
perfectly clear. This is
Right,
complete
like, why are you
bullshit.
making this right? But why that point? Out of everything to make clear, everything else is vague. Why that? You know what I'm saying? There's a reason. I wonder what.
Well, what completely fries my brain is that I heard a few people that have been with us, like, what was his name? Moto Man Max. He's up in Lana's chat, and he drops $5 and go, that's it. He's guilty. This case is over. I'm out. Moto Man Max has been around since the inception of this shit. For him to hear this crap and go, oh, it's official, put a cork in it, and walk away? Nah, you're not going to be able to walk away. Nobody walks away from this case.
I'm not going to insult my own intelligence by believing this shit. No, I would love to walk away. You got to make it make sense. I'm not stupid.
No, they're trying to tetherball you away. They're trying to kick you away, and it ain't working, pal. All right, let's keep going.
This. One of those roommates awoke, looked out her door not knowing what was going on, and saw.
It's a lie it's not a lie a minute club. It's a lie a second. This is the most consecutive number of lies in the Guinness Book World Records in a court here ever. This is going to be studied. They're going to build cities around how deceptive and manipulative that this thing is. He can't even believe it himself. Jen?
Shit.
He can't even believe what he's saying himself. Are you looking for something? What do you know?
No, I was looking for something, and I found like a note that I made, and I'm like, holy shit, I forgot about this. This is big, but hold on.
All right, hang on. We still got to do Lucy's thing. I want to get through this. Here we go.
Continue. I need to look at this.
The defendant, who was dressed in black with black balaclava on, holding some sort of container in his hand, and she saw.
Not now.
Oh.
He's holding some kind of container in his hand. What? What?
Oh my god.
I can't make it through this thing. We can't get 4 seconds.
He walked in the house. Let's talk this out. He walked in the house, right? Carrying the sheath in his hand, right? The knife still in the sheath, and with a container of some sort in the other hand. Like, I'm sorry. Come on.
He gets to that right here, and he says, for some reason, drops the knife sheath for whatever reason. So here's the thing. When you work out a plea deal, you get that aliquot, or whatever, however it's pronounced, from the defendant. Okay, you're going to plead guilty? What happened with the knife sheath? Where's the knife? What happened to the BLOD in the car? How did you find them? All these questions. They haven't communicated. He's out there like stone cold, like what in the F is happening right here? Mm-hmm. White Claw for the win, Chelsea.
Him leave the house through the
Truly
direction
for
of
the
the kitchen
win.
where that sliding door is that I mentioned before. At approximately 4:20 that morning, so this would have been 15 minutes or so later, the defendant's car is seen on a surveillance camera for 1112 King Road, which is immediately next door to the west of 1122, leaving the area at a high rate of speed. And if the court were to see that, or anybody in this courtroom would see that, you can see the car almost loses control as it makes.
If anybody in the courtroom would see that, well, we can't see it because you covered it up with 2 suns. And I'm not talking about SONs. Okay? Are you kidding me? They're talking about the car speeding away, and that if anybody could have seen that in this courtroom, but now they don't have to worry about it being disproven because he's plea dealed.
Think about it. You go to drive away, right? You still have your knife in your hand with BLOOD on it. Like, where are you going to put it as you go, speed away from those small ass streets? Like, were you holding it in one hand? You can't put it down because then there would be BLOOD on the seat, right? Where are you putting it? Wouldn't he realize at that moment? Actually, he would realize the moment he went to open his car door. Oh shit, where am I going to put this knife? Oh shit, it's in my hand.
Jesse Schul, welcome in, Mr. Thailand. Jesse talk Thai. Jesse talk Thai very well. Very nice to see you.
No one would walk into a house with a knife still in the sheath in their hand. Like, you may still have it in the sheath. On your
Ridiculous.
weight,
Insane,
like, come on.
ridiculous.
Like,
And
hold on. Idaho, people have guns.
they want us
wait,
to
hold on.
believe this, bro. They
Let me
want to,
unsheath
and
my knife.
you know, I've actually missed a couple steps. I want to replay this part again. Right now, I can't control the
This is
backward
on the
and
hour.
forward and the horizontal
Oh,
on
yeah.
your TV. But we will go over this exact part one more time. Let's just try for
Oh,
the
yeah.
the love of all that's sacred for Pete to make it through this. I don't know how far I can get.
The corner, heads north, and then turns to go south on Walenta, which is one of the only ways to get out of that part of town. The evidence would show that following that, the defendant in his Elantra drove south of Moscow. We know that he drove on the back roads because there are surveillance cameras on the main highways, Highway 95, that would have picked up the defendant's car if he'd gone that route. And they did not show the defendant's car on that route during the time. So we know that he went through a variety of back roads in very rural, isolated part of Latah County. About 4:40.
I'm sorry, but yeah, even here, Jen, I saw an opportunity where I'm like, you know, because that guilter in the back of your brain just wants to go, okay, yeah, you saw him in the back roads. You have proof that he was right there. And then he says this.
48 that morning. Defendant's phone comes back
I don't know what happened there.
on. And the evidence will show.
I don't know what that was. I think I was trying to turn off the echo still, and I hit a bad channel. I apologize for that part, but we'll get through it.
Get it together.
I apologize to the world for my misinformation channel here.
Show that that phone was located south of Moscow, likely at a side road intersection with Highway 95. From there, the defendant's phone activity tracks it heading back north towards Pullman, Washington, where the defendant lived. About 5:26, starting approximately 5:26, various surveillance cameras in Pullman, Washington pick up the defendant's vehicle as he enters Pullman from the south and heads north and slightly west towards his apartment, where he arrived at approximately 5:30 in the morning.
Okay, so in conclusion, remember how you used to write your essays when you learned writing in English class in 8th grade?
Mm-hmm.
In conclusion, we have him going home. There's the evidence. He went home. They can prove that he went home. What? I mean,
But
dude,
wait.
it literally
They
makes
can't
you
prove
wanna-
it because he just happened to just he took all these back roads and the long way because he wanted to avoid the cameras. But how did he get there? Did he avoid the cameras on the way there? Like, no, give me a break.
I mean, the biggest problem is their story don't make any sense, and neither does his. It's like they got together to make it completely discombobulated.
That's what I'm saying. That's why his alibi, like, it always gave me pause because I'm like, okay, if it
I
was
didn't
a
believe
lie,
it for shit when
they
I
could-
first heard
no,
it. I
no,
still don't buy
I
it.
do. I believe his alibi because if he was gonna lie, he would have. There's a million. He could have just said he was home sleeping.
Yeah,
and
that's
turned his phone
true.
off.
Yeah, you would have come up with something
like-
better. But
Right, like
with
he-
the truth, you don't have to remember what you said. You can
Right.
just repeat what you did. And
Oh,
instead,
shit, and-
you have this crazy story. The truth doesn't always make sense, but the truth is the truth.
And didn't Ann say that there was like photos or something that he took that night that like the metadata would show he was there?
We'll never get to that because he's now pleaded out.
So it's like, did you lie, Ann? Or like, are you failing your client?
Don't
Like,
don't get Twiz all fired up. He might actually come up on my show. God forbid.
I don't care. I'm gonna growl.
Later that morning, Sunday, the 13th of November of 2022, Mr. Kohlberger's phone returned to the area of King Road. We don't know exactly what he did, but it returned to that area. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning.
Again, they don't know exactly what he did. What did he do, Bill? You're the one proving this beyond a reasonable doubt. What the feck did he do? Great case, buddy. Well done. Well played, sir.
He's there for about 10 minutes and then returned to his Pullman residence. About 9:30, the state's evidence will show, evidence taken from the defendant's phone, that he took a selfie of himself.
10 minutes.
We got a JJ back. JJ's returned.
Hi, JJ.
Hello, sir. We thought you were taking a little cat nap.
Welcome back.
With,
I had to take the dog
meow.
on a walk, you know, that kind of thing. If I may add one point here in the mix, some stuff y'all were talking about reminded me of a comment Leash made in the chat earlier. The last time we saw a case like this, where such a travesty of American jurisprudence and this whole
OJ Simpson.
this whole Farvik-Nugan situation. No, I was going to say Leash made a comment earlier about David Berkowitz. So David Berkowitz got marched into a court in front of three different county judges from three different counties. So they all convened on one courtroom. He stood in there for like an hour and just pled guilty to things. They went through the motions. He said, all the verbiage you see Hippler read. And he says, yes, that's what Berkowitz did for each three judges for all three different counties. And then they rolled him off to prison because they gave him the deal with no death penalty. Right.
JJ, are you familiar with the Christopher Tapp case in Idaho?
That doesn't sound familiar.
Oh, you want to talk about travesty of justice? Just look into it. It's crazy. The story is insane. This man in Idaho spent 20 years of his life locked up for a crime he didn't commit, gets out, gets a settlement against, I think it was Idaho4. I don't know what town. Anyway, got like millions of dollars. His wife dies in a quote unquote car accident. And then he gets beaten to death in Vegas by a ex-wrestler congressman or something. I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm reading about that right now. Former Nevada congressional hopeful accused of the death of Chris Tapp.
False confession. I mean, it's disgusting what they did to that man. And I'm sorry, he was killed. I don't believe for a second his wife was a car. They just didn't want to pay that money.
These things go on all the time for sure. You're making some good points. But regarding what we saw today, the last time we saw something like this was David Berkowitz.
Yeah, it happens way too often. And one time is too much.
We've talked a lot about the David Berkowitz case and the alternate perpetrators in that case, Jen. So it would literally be a whole show catching you up. But we'll get you there. It is a quagmire, along with the Zodiac and also the Manson family stuff, which we've covered with you before on that. But let's do. Is there anything else you wanted to add on that, Jay? JJ down. JJ down. We got a Piper down. There he is.
Am I back?
You've been cloned, JJ.
Yeah, dude, but I hear what you're saying. But with the Berkowitz thing again, we just, the whole thing got wrapped up because they rolled Berkowitz in front of three judges in one room from three different counties and said, you're guilty. And they just rolled him off to prison.
Wait, who David Berkowitz was son of Sam?
The son of Sam, yeah. Wow, I didn't know it went down like that. And then, of course, the media partners just post the headline, Berkowitz guilty. And the public is just like, okay, great, good job.
Right. That's what I'm saying, dude. This is some wild shit we're watching.
This is historically inaccurate. It's historical deception right here. It's record deception. It's Guinness Book of World Record stuff, without a doubt.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, I think Bill is literally shaking and his camel toe is bleeding. I think that topped Killing in Destiny, Jen. You might have to put that.
I don't think anything tops Killing in Destiny from Moscow, Idaho. I don't think anything.
Do y'all see what I'm saying, though? The last time we saw this kind of wild stuff, because when have you ever heard of three different judges from three different counties convening on one courtroom to do a pleas of guilt from one dude just to wrap it all up? I mean, that's unheard of.
What happens to a jury? Where's the jury? When does a Merck trial go to three judges instead of a jury? That makes no sense.
Well, that's the same deal we're looking at here. They did a quick plea agreement to get the death penalty off the table, and then they're like, "Look, see you later."
The DP, you mean?
Pullman
Well,
apartment.
I'm not here to discuss any of your sexual proclivities, sir, but if that's what you're talking about.
Jen, you've corrupted my co-host, our other co-host now. You sick son of a bitch. All right, I'm gonna
You're,
try to
you're the
play
one
Bill.
talking about DPs in here, bud, not me.
I'm just such a child.
If you're hungry, snap into a DP.
Just like when someone says, taint, I'm like, I'm a 5-year-old. I can't help it.
You said member. All right, here we go.
With a
Manhole.
thumbs up. The defendant's phone then went to the Lewiston-Clarkston Valley, approximately 30 miles south of Moscow and Pullman. And the defendant is actually seen with his car at various businesses down there. This area is the confluence of the Clearwater River and the Snake River. Lewiston is Idaho's seaport. Large bodies of moving water down there.
For those of you that don't understand what a seaport is, Jage, the paraphernalia there, bro. Thank you so much. Sorry, I have to crack the whip. YouTube is up my pie hole. Sorry, okay, it's sorry to interrupt, but yeah, he's doing these hand motions to make his point that's overemphasizing the stupidest shit a kindergartner can understand. And he's explaining what a seaport is. Oh, you know, it's like in Airplane when he's like, oh, they had to take him to a hospital, and she's like, what's that? He's like, it's a large place with a lot of patients, but that's not important right now. You know what I mean? It's the same exact thing.
In addition to tracing the defendant's activities, as I've just outlined, on the 13th and leading up to the 13th, the state's evidence will show that following Sunday, November 13th, 2022, business records show that the defendant began searching for a K-bar knife and a K-bar knife sheath, as the state believes, to replace the one that was left at the scene of the murders.
Yeah, because why wouldn't somebody want to replace something and make it online and then cover their tracks, obviously, right?
The evidence also will suggest that there were at least attempts by the defendant to delete or alter his purchase history on Amazon, where all these transactions had occurred. Later that week, the state's evidence will show that Mr. Kohlberger went to what we would call DMV, motor vehicle licensing here in Idaho, and pulled
Like just roaming through people's backyards, and he goes nighttime jogging, and why wouldn't you?
Well, here's
mind?
the thing. Now they're bringing the license plate change into it. They literally are using the fact that
And
he
failed to
legally
mention.
had to change his license plate, and he says that he registered it in Idaho. No, Bill, he registered it
Yep.
in Washington, where he lives, you dumbass.
And I love how he mansplains, like the DMV basically.
What a
It's like, oh,
DMV
yeah,
is.
well,
It's a large body of
Yeah,
water, Jen.
Yeah.
You kindergartners might not understand. JJ, you still with us? Are we purging?
I'm right here, sir. I'm just enjoying my doobie, if you will.
Oh, fair enough. I thought you were snapping into a sidebar.
Did they ever say?
I'm also clowning on you. We don't get to see you face off against Bill Thompson in a guitar duel any longer.
Oh man, that would be awesome.
Listen,
did they ever
I'll be
say
honest
if-
with you. I'll whip his ass.
Yeah, allegedly.
I'd like to see that, sir. I'd like to see that.
It's well. I'll do. They call it a head, and I'll take out Jeff H. and then
First,
I'll
you're
work
gonna
my
do the-
way
you're
up
gonna
to the
do-
champ.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Head.
You're gonna give Bill Thompson head? Okay, great.
This has gone south way too fast.
I'm delirious right now. I'm delirious. I'm eating chips. I'm just fired up. I'm in rare form tonight.
You are a wild woman. Wow, she's all. I've had her in the basement for the last 3 weeks, and she's just ready to explode right now. And leave that one alone, Jay. We're gonna get to this Bill Thompson, damn it.
I didn't even think of that.
to change his car registration from Pennsylvania to Washington. That's of note because Pennsylvania cars do not require a front license plate. The vehicles
You guys
seen on
got
the
to stop. We're going to
surveillance
make it through this
cameras.
one way or another because I can't even
This is the
rewind.
true crime comedy show. The true crime comedy show. Listen,
It
you can
is
only
a
laugh
true
at this shit.
crime
It's so
comedy
ridiculous.
show. It's not intended comedy tonight. It's just falling into place.
It's just so.
This thing is
ridiculous.
literally
You
a
have to laugh.
comedy. It's a tragedy and a comedy. It's literally a Shakespearean Roman theater here. No question. Without a doubt. It's the most horrible thing, but it's just absolutely laughable. Laughable. In my opinion.
Yeah.
Are we clear?
Crystal.
Code 4.
The defendant's car showed
Over
it
now.
didn't have a front license plate on it. At the time of the traffic stop by Deputy Duke in August, it was Pennsylvania plate.
I mean, really, you're going to go back to that stupid traffic stop. This is what's supposed to be making him look guilty, and the fact that he registered his car is making him guilty, dude. You know what? I need a creamsicle. Damn it.
No front license plate. Mr. Kohlberger proceeded to finish his semester of studies at Washington State University and returned to Pennsylvania for the holidays. Law enforcement at this point were aware of Mr. Kohlberger had been.
You drive an Elantra, you have eyebrows. You're suspect.
There's no evidence, and that's the evidence. Absolutely. Why shouldn't we believe it, bro? Give me reason.
Exactly.
Accessing information about him, were trying to find him. They located him in Pennsylvania, and they conducted what's called a trash pull.
Okay, I think right there he said they literally tried to find him and located him in Pennsylvania, although we know now there was a helicopter following him the whole way, and they stopped his car twice to slow him down to let the helicopter catch up. Bill, how many lies are you going to tell in one speech?
In the
You don't believe that narrative, right? You don't believe that narrative, right?
Of course not. Of course not. Listen, the Pennsylvania documents, it says they were requested, they were asked to assist Idaho, law enforcement, I think on the 28th. But then it also says they began physical surveillance on the 27th. I could be off on the dates by a day or two. My point is, they admit that they were surveilling him prior to even being asked to assist. So why were Pennsylvania police watching him when they didn't even, they weren't even brought to the party yet? You know what
I
I'm
can
saying?
tell you absolutely why is because Schindler's List. No, because now they don't have to explain anything. All of a sudden, everything goes away. So at this point right now, at 2 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time, I'm now believing that that the choices for BK were get murked right now or plead guilty. Which one do you want? And we'll give you a black and white television, and you can watch Gomer Pyle reruns for the next years of your life.
Yeah. No firing squad now.
None.
I would just like to take a moment out here to point out the nice sheen that Brett Payne has achieved on top of his huge dome piece.
Where is he at? Oh,
He
wow. That
polished
thing
it. He
is
must-
shinier than mine. And mine's shining pretty bright. It's nice and sweaty. It's about 85. It's 82 degrees outside, but it's 85 in here. You explain that one.
Hey, JJ, did you see that Kane dyed his mustache? He did some Just for Men.
I got
He
him.
he actually looks slightly less Cuban tonight.
JJ, you're going to get that sandwich. I promise you. I promise.
Damn it.
Dude, I love Cuban sandwiches.
I'm
dude.
delirious.
You
Oh
kidding
my
me?
God, they're so good. So good. I love Cuban coffee too. I'm from Miami, so I grew up eating that shit.
There
All right,
you go.
the censor says you two have to stop. Let's go on with this, okay?
Cállate la boca.
During the nighttime hours, agents of the FBI, who assisted immensely with this case, working with the sanitation department back in this neighborhood in Pennsylvania, took trash that had been set out on the street for collection, sent the contents of that from the Pennsylvania residence of the defendant's parents to the Idaho State Forensic Laboratory, where the lab experts there were able to identify DNA on a Q-tip as coming from the father of the person whose DNA was found on the knife sheath that was next to Madison Logan's body in the bed. Subsequently, an arrest warrant was issued here in Idaho, and a search warrant was issued in the state of Pennsylvania with the assistance not only of the FBI, but the Pennsylvania State Police.
Scratch behind his ear there.
Say again?
Run that back. Run that back.
Unfortunately, wait, let me see if I can.
You can't dance like a monkey and do as I say. What are you talking about?
I can't rewind right now. I'd have to go back to the beginning.
I noticed him do that.
So that's why I'm
I'm
trying to get through it once, and then we can go back to the parts. Let me see if I reopen it. Hang on one second. Let me reopen. Let me turn it off and turn it back on again.
You don't know how the rewind thing works?
I do. It's a long story. It's OBS. It's OBS problems.
You need to just be a streamer, dude. Just.
Where did I put all
give it
this
up.
business here? Yeah, I should just quit.
Yeah, JJ, I noticed that too. He does like, you could tell like his tell.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not trying to derail the video, Kane. I do know you're trying to get through this.
No, I did see him do it. I wasn't picking up on it though. I'm not a good poker player. So let's see. If I open it here, usually I can rewind and fast forward. But when I put it on my high resolution monitor, I can't move it around. Yeah, see right now? Let me try to do it in VLC, and maybe it'll work better there. That's a large body of water, by the way. Open with VLC. Oh wait, if this doesn't work, I got another plan. Hold on, let's see. This takes like 5 minutes to open for some reason. Hang on. Yeah, I should be able to rewind. You're right. It's not professional of me. And thank you, everybody, for watching the Purchase late tonight. I appreciate you staying up and joining us here. If you're new to the Perch, please slap OperationGCD around and try to knock all the dirty thoughts out of Jen's head. I appreciate it a lot. Okay, let's see here. This is not what I want.
I can't help it. I'm immature.
What happened there? Sorry. One more try. My B. Now I've got a nervous tell and I'm shaking while I'm reading this. Hold on, let's see. What did I just do there? Okay, my bad. I'm done. Open with. Let's try and see if this will.
Are you just trying to rewind it? I don't understand why.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I know.
You've done it before, though.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it don't. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't.
That's what she said.
Yeah, it won't do it there. Hold on, sorry. Oh my gosh. Now I'm clearing the waiting room right now.
Wait, I have a question. So Miss Potts said that she got like the flight records or something.
Right.
From how do you get that?
That's a good question. I don't know, but she seems to have one up her sleeve on it.
If you have access to that type of thing, why don't you maybe look into that suitcase situation with Steve's name on the tag that was taken out of the house in the U-Haul? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's a good question.
Why was the suitcase at 1122 King?
Will show that phone.
That might have been Steve number 3, though, right? We don't know that for certain, but it was definitely one of them.
Why was his suitcase at 1122? I mean, either one.
I suspect because he had a lot more relations to that house than we're led to believe.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, the only thing that would make sense as to why they didn't immediately go to Moscow after getting multiple phone calls about Kaylee is if one of them was already there. You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
Otherwise, I can't accept that. Come on, they went to the Vandal Healing Garden opening, but not to go see what's up with their daughter when they heard she was unalive. Like, give me a break. No, I refuse to accept that someone could be that shitty of a parent. Like, no, can't do it. If someone in the family was already in Moscow and they had like a liaison, that makes more sense. I can accept that.
A liaison? Is that like a raisin?
A liaison. Is that the right word? Am I using it correctly? It was on my calendar, my word of the day calendar.
We're not gonna make it through this damn hearing. No way.
I'm delirious. I'm
We're gonna have
literally
to do a part 3 tomorrow. I know JJ's totally burned out. Twiz hasn't got a lick of juice left in him.
Oh, I found
tonight.
it. I
What'd
found
you
the Four
find?
Brothers thing. My notes from the video that you didn't want to play.
Where am I right now?
I'll save it for next time. Save it for next time.
Yeah, save for the. I think I'm about ready to shut it down myself. We're getting at 2:15 here.
Yeah,
We're at
I'm
5
my
hours
brain-
on the purge. Just getting started typically, but it's been a long week for all of us.
We're just getting started here at the purge. This is the greatest purge ever.
Greatest purge ever, for sure.
You guys are never gonna let me live that one down. Let me see for tomorrow's purge. You guys don't mind doing a tomorrow's purge, do you? Yeah,
I can pop in for a purge.
Can you do an afternoon purge, Jen?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
I can't really promise because like other things come up and maybe.
Well, I
It's
mean,
not a 50-50 chance.
really?
50-50 chance. I don't like to commit.
No, that's true. You like to pop up, I think.
Yeah, I can't let anybody know my next move.
That's good. That's probably good with the events that I know about.
That's
That
why I
are
don't use my
behind the
blinker when I
scenes
drive.
stuff. Wait
why
a
I don't-
second. Hold on. No, it still
is this
won't
the
fast
purge?
forward. I can't even fast forward now. So, all right, let's shut it down right there. This has been
Where's mom?
an amazing
Can't
chat.
call your mom. Call your mom.
I've called. I'm gonna call the front desk, make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, do that for real.
And I'll text you guys or whatever and let you know it's all good. So, JJ,
OMG.
get some rest, brother. We'll be doing it tomorrow, and I'm sure once she sees that we're going at it tomorrow, she'll join us maybe around 5 before your show tomorrow. And I'll try to get every hula burger out of you that I possibly can. So,
You read my mind, sir. I said, start getting them hula burgers ready. Squeeze them under the door for me, Cubano, Cuban sandwich style, if you will, on the panini press.
nice
You
flat
got yourself a
press.
deal.
So
It's good. Good
So good.
purging with all fellow purgers. Jen, great purging with you, man. Kane, I'm
Yes,
still a
sir.
little bit
You
butthurt
too,
with
sir?
you from last night and your 67 breakups, but I do appreciate your time, sir, and your purging and the invite.
Awesome show. Yeah, that was definitely the best purge. So, thank you. And make sure you please hit the chat on the way like. And we appreciate you being here, everybody. Say goodnight, Jen.
Good night, Jen.
Good evening, sir. Take care, chat, everybody. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll continue this chicanery on the afternoon. Laser.
Put a one in the chat if you like DP.